Alright, boys and girls, welcome to Gordon Guitar. We have Keith Urban, and with that, some country going on here. Brown Eyes Baby. So this one is pretty easy to play. We have basically 3 chords, but Keith, he throws in about 2 more chords just for fun. So we have 5 chords in total here. So that's it when it comes to chords. We need to set our capo here on the first frets, and let's start with the chords. First, we have G, okay? So that is 3rd on E, 2nd on A, open D, open G, 3rd B, and 3rd E. Next chord will be E minor. So that is open E, 2nd A, 2nd D, open G, open B, and open E. And then we have C. So that gives us 3rd on A, 2nd on D, open G, 1st B, and open E. So this is the basic 3 chords. That is about 85-90% of the song, but we need to add in the A minor and B minor. So let's start with A minor. So open A, 2nd D, 2nd G, 1st B, and open E. And the B minor will have the same there, but you need to have a bar here on the 2nd fret. So bar on 2nd from the A string and down, so that means 5 strings. And the rest will look like an A minor. So that gives us 4th on D, 4th on G, and 3rd on B. So there you have the B minor, and there you have all the chords. So G, E minor, C, A minor, and B minor. Okay, so before we dive into the chords and how they come, in which order, we need to look at the strumming. So G is the first chord. One strumming round will sound like this. Okay, so that is down, up, down, up, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up, down, up. So you play down, up 2 times, and then a short break, and then up, down, up. So down, up, down, up, down, up. That is 1 round. And you want to emphasize this down, up, just before the break there. So give it a little extra kick there on the way up, and then pause, and then up, down, up. So that's just some extra stuff there if you want. Let's look at the chord progression now. So we have the first verse. You play 2 rounds, strumming rounds, that means, of G, then 1 of E, and 1 of C. Okay, so that will be pretty much the chord progression here. So 2 G's, 1 E minor, and 1 C sounds like this. G, G, E minor, and C. On. So this chord progression, G2, E minor 1, C1, you play that for 4 rounds, and after these 4 rounds you will play A minor 2 rounds, so A minor, then C 1 round, and 1 extra down, and that will be the first verse. So G2, E minor 1, C1 for 4 rounds, and then A minor 2, C1 plus 1 extra down, and that takes us to the first chorus. And this will be pretty easy. You just continue with the chord progression, G2, E minor 1, C1 for 4 rounds. So we know that by now. You add that 4 rounds, and that is your chorus. The constant instrumental part, 1 extra round of G, E minor, and C. G2, E minor 1, and C1. And that takes us to the second verse. This one is way shorter than the first one. You would just play 2 rounds of G, E minor, C in the same way you played in the first verse, but only 2 chord progression rounds, and that is the second verse. That takes us to the second chorus, played in the same way as the first one. And right after this second chorus follows an instrumental part. It's just in the same way as the first one. We had this G2, E minor 1, and C1, but this one will be for 2 rounds. So it's twice as long as the first instrumental parts. After this second instrumental comes a bridge part in the lyrics, puts a full back in your half empty, and so on. And there we have A minor for 2 strumming rounds. And now comes the B minor for 2 rounds, and then you play C for 3 rounds. And after this C3, you have a pause there, and that builds up for the next part, which is the third chorus. But if we just stay with this bridge part, I'm gonna play through for you. So A minor 2, B minor 2, C3, and pause there. After this bridge part comes the third chorus. The first 2 rounds, because it's still the same chords, it's G2, E minor 1, and C1. The 2 chord progression rounds, first 2, will be some kind of a plucking from the chords, and you will, it's hard to really say what's played there. If I will just go easy with it, I will just play 1 down per chord, and it will be like this. You have to have a longer break after the G, since it's twice as long as the other chords. You can play this, or you can just pluck free from the chords, so something like this. It's up to you. 2 rounds, and after these 2 rounds comes next 2 rounds with the same strumming we had before on the other choruses. So that is pretty much the third chorus, and it ends with a long outro. You can say this outro consists of 8 another rounds of the same way of playing the strumming, and guess what? It's the G2, E minor 1, and C1. So after this third chorus, which is 4 rounds with first 2 rounds plucking and the next 2 rounds with standard strumming, comes 8 rounds of just continuous same chords and same strumming. Just mentioned there at about the 7th round, so the final 2 rounds, you can say it starts to fade out, and I think that's fair. We know this chord progression by now, so that pretty much covers Keith Urban's Brown Eyes Baby. So have fun with this one, guys. Hope to see you soon. Play tuned.